Welcome to the third lesson in the purchase. In the previous two videos, we have seen in the purchase module the purchase setup, and then in the masters, purchase masters, we have seen about materials, how they are created, and their specifications, attachments, all those type of things. So let me just take you on to some of these. Suppose this is there is, that means you can also attach any type of image, or you can have multiple images also. So if I go to the details of this specific product material, when I click, you will see an attachment has come, and I will be able to show those attachments. So anyhow, leaving that apart, now we are going back to our now next point in the masters is the vendor. So basically you can create any vendor using this. Now if I test any vendor, this is the vendor name. This vendor code, which is say 100, when I add new, 101 has come. I will create that, and then PAN number is there, and there is a verify PAN. This will actually take you to the PAN number, physical PAN number. You can enter and check if the PAN number is a valid PAN number or not. And similarly, you have the GST number, and maybe you can also check the GST number by actually entering the GST number here, and it will tell you the exact GST number. So this is the verified GST. So we have just entered some GST number to check if it is working. So this is the number, and you try to search it and you get the details of the GST. This is our company GST number. That means you are entering the vendor GST and indicating whether he is active or not. Okay. So entity type indicates you can have vendor categories which we have defined, if you remember some time back in the main thing. And the TDS section, that is the section in which any payments made to him have to be deducted. It is sometimes it so happens that a person has we have attached a particular TDS to him for goods. Sometimes it is likely he may give us services. So at the time of deducting the TDS, while this one will show that there is a TDS under 18% 194A, okay, interest, but you can pick another TDS also while making the journal. That means you deduct that much TDS from the payable to the vendor. So that's about the TDS. Then you have the terms picker, the payment, delivery, everything, which you can write here. And this appears in the invoice, in the purchase order of the specific vendor. So I'm trying, say, my P terms 2, okay, DEL terms, and O terms, and I terms. So I have added this to BIOS test. My right now. So well, it doesn't matter. Let us take the vendor test one. So here we are entering some payment terms and some delivery terms, some other terms, some inspection terms too, and I am submitting. So by submitting, I'm just updating that particular vendor. So here it is showing the details of the vendor, the TD GST code, GST state code, so that GST can be claimed or otherwise, and type of the vendor, and the BS schedule. That means this vendor is under which BS schedule. So definitely share capital is a long BS schedule. So you have, maybe you will have sundry creditors is the schedule, right schedule, and you pick the particular section of, maybe I will say professional interest contractor company. Okay. So this is how you set the vendor details. And of course in the info you have his bank details, bank IFSC code and all that, to which when a payment is made, this comes into the picture. Then you have contact information about the address and all this. All these appear in the purchase order of of the specific vendor. Maybe we can just, for sample, we can just see the a sample purchase order of any vendor, how it would look like. Okay, so I'm trying to print a sample purchase order and see. Okay, so this is the sample purchase order. You will see to this particular vendor, supply to this place. Okay, this is the item. Maybe there is no item in this. Okay, or we can go to this particular one, which has about 3,314 rupees of something to be billed, to be rather purchase order is raised. We can see that purchase order here, 3,910, and all the taxes, everything, these have come as per that. However, you can just increase the size and see how it looks like, and you can print it into a PDF. Of course, we will be dealing little more into details about the purchase order and all that, but at this point, let us limit our activity to this much. That is, all the addresses which we have entered there are all appearing in this. So similar to the materials, the vendor has also has a lot of details. These are the vendor price list. That means each material, this is the vendor name. Obviously, it should be the same vendor name. Okay, and the rate. And sorry, we have gone to material. That is the mistake we have done. We have to go to vendor. So in the vendor, basically, if you have any choices, you have vendor facilities. That means he has a facility like assembly line, base, cold rolling, all those facilities, for what process and what grade he has, grade number. This is just used generally for vendor assessment. And similarly, vendor catalog. If there are any material which he is going to offer, suppose he is going to offer this material at this rate, okay, at this GST applicable, okay, you can just save it, and that creates a catalog for the vendor, which, if required, can be picked into the purchase order at the right place. Then we have the vendor visits. Well, this is not a, I would say, this is a big module, vendor visit by itself. So where you are only saying I visited this vendor on this day, what I inspected, and how I'm going to grade him. This is not a part of the standard application, but however, this is available, and this must be very judiciously used where required. And also there is a facility that you can go to any specific vendor, or you can select the right vendor. So you can also see the evaluation of any vendor here. Say for example, we have Aditya Paints or somebody here, and I would like to know how he is performing, like vendor assets, vendor catalog. There is a snapshot here, so which indicates what are all the activities. He has one catalog product. We have so many purchase indents raised on him. We have ordered for this much and he has supplied this much. This is the purchase indents. These are the purchase orders. These are the purchase orders placed and how much is supplied. Then we have purchase orders placed total. Then we have goods received from this client. We have a huge list. Then this is the material purchase returns that are done, and these are the financial transactions we have done. So I'm just opening everything all together and trying to print it out. This will give a single snapshot of that particular vendor, in one go, to know each and everything about him. Okay, So, well, we are coming to the vendors. Now, manufacturers are a very simple object. There is nothing specific except that in the product, sometimes you check, you link it to the manufacturer and it should be supplied only from this manufacturer. So in this video, we have seen basically the vendors, materials we are in the previous window. And here also we have a snapshot. Suppose if I take this EN45A steel and try to see the snapshot of that, so I will be able to see more or less everything about the particular material. So how many vendors are there? How many manufacturers are there? Last 10 purchase orders, batch wise closing stocks, branch wise, and last 5 issue indents, and lot many things, whatever it is. And similarly here also you can create a single snapshot of a particular material. Like we have a vendor snapshot which says what are all the purchase orders or material with him. In the material snapshot, you will see from where are all you are buying, at what rate you are buying, and all that such type of things. Well, thank you very much. Let us proceed to the next.